Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. We now have the engine clean, so hopefully that means we won't have to work inside the engine bays much longer, since they're really small and really tight and really difficult to see everything. As always, if you're enjoying the series, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. That helps the video a lot. Today we are going to be working on the Salem GW500. This is a story car, and according to the story, a guy was trying to impress a girl and ended up going through a few bushes and a cactus or two. Now, I would say we've all been there, but I don't think we have. It's a bit of a state. We don't actually have the car wash, otherwise I would happily wash the car. Yeah, it's not looking in good shape at all. But this is what we've got to work on today. So we do know what some of the parts that need fixing are: medium intercooler, oil pan, radiator, 2 rims and a sport tyre, and there are 4 parts undiscovered. Never bodes well when you've got undiscovered parts, but there could be something simple. There could be brake issues for all we know. It's the fact that he went for a few cactuses. The bodywork needs looking at as well. I think that's just about all of it needs looking at. And you may have noticed straight away it has no front bumper, so we're going to have to buy one. We need to change the coolant and refill the windscreen washer liquid at the same time. So fairly simple, not massively complicated, hopefully. Straight away you can see the state of the rim as well. It's not boding well, is it? So we put it on the lifter, and I think we'll start by doing a thorough examination. I think that's our best way. As usual, we'll speed through the examination just to speed it up a little bit. Off we go. Most of it is coming up green. The wheel was a bit red there, but then we was expecting that. Nothing major. I think that's an exhaust issue. Showed up as well. That's it. That is that all checked. We can do our usual tests on the engine themselves because that will give us skill points, or XP. Not skill points, XP. I didn't mean to take off the bonnet, we just did. But while we're at it, we'll take off all the bodywork then. I didn't mean to take it off, but it makes sense. We're here. Just take off all the bodywork and we've got it all off then, ready to look at later. So little mini windows on the sides you forget about. It's so easy to miss. We've got rear bumper, rear lights. They can come off as well. Yeah, I really wish we had the washer, just so we can wash the car, because it is horrendous. The wheels don't look in good condition either. Right, we can do our test. Like I say, I don't think we need to, but we can. That way we've done them. It's extra XP. You never know, we may find something come up that we need to sort out, but it's unlikely, I think, based on what the cars have gone through and what's needed. I don't think it's going to be likely to show anything. So ignition coils are good. Yeah, everything seems fine there. We'll have a look at the compression test. Luckily the engine starts, it's always a bonus. I did think for a minute it might not. So we come up green, it's a good sign. Camshaft, yeah, it's all good. Nothing to worry about there. Let's have a look at the electronics. Some alternator. I think the alternator's gone, looking at that. Other than that, everything else seems okay. Yeah, all the relays are okay. So the alternator needs fixing, or replacing, depends. Hopefully we can fix it. We'll do the tyres. 93%, 89%, that's not bad. 90%. Oh, I didn't actually know there was a tyre missing, but obviously you can only test for 3 tyres because it's missing one. So we do the fuel pressure test while we're at it as well. Everything seems okay with that. Fuel pump's normally the thing to look out for, but I don't think we have to this time. I think it's actually okay. Yep, fuel filter, fuel pump, all the high 80s. So, what have we found? Serpentine belt we found needs to be done. Front exhaust section A, alternator. I think we're left with one part now, not undiscovered, that's fine. And obviously coolants and stuff to do. In terms of fixing the car itself, it's not a massive amount of work. Always start with draining the oil. Although I think it said that's the other, we get 2 engine cranes. If anyone's wondering why it's flashing in the corner, it was annoying me flashing, I must admit. But you get 2, one for in here and one for the workshop. We'll drain the oil, but did it say oil pan was missing? I think it did, but we can still drain the oil, so that's not a bad thing. Put that away. Let's have a look underneath. Oh, yeah, it's got a few issues. That's the oil pan, so it is there. It's just in a very, very poor condition. That isn't good. Right, anything else looking like it needs sorting out under here while we're here? Oil filter looks okay. That's the alternator we need to do it from the engine bay. And that's the serpentine belt, but that's from the engine bay as well. Generally, we'll take it off just to check it, but I think, yeah, it's green, it's good. They're normally one of the first things that go, but the oil filter's fine. Yeah, you can see the exhaust issue. So yeah, that oil pan is red. I believe when anything's red you can't fix them, so we might as well just buy one and put it back on while the car's up in the air. That makes more sense at this point. So not expensive, 142 credits. 142 pounds. I always keep forgetting between the two of them, to be fair. So we can put that back on. And at least that's one part already replaced and done. I think the drive shaft, looking at that's not in a good shape either. Front exhaust section, we know that that's got to come off. Yeah, and you can't actually fix any exhaust parts. They always need replacing. So we need to do the tyres, either stay at the rim. Inner tie rod needs to come off, but I think to get that off you need to do the tyre, so we need to take tyres off anyway. As the rims need sorting out. State of that. It's horrendous, isn't it? But remember, we still got this one part we need to find. I think the brake pads look okay. So we need to take off the outer tie rod, which will then allow us to take off the inner tie rod, on this side anyway, and then the steering rack is what we need to sort out. That radiator as well looks horrendous. This is the wheel, the side of the car didn't have a wheel, didn't have a tyre there, so I'm amazed the brake pads and brake discs are in good shape considering it's missing a wheel. But the steering rack comes off. Whether we can fix that, I'm not sure. Everything else looks okay. Obviously we need to do things from the engine bay, which is the alternator and things like that. And that radiator as well, that's going to need sorting out. Before we do the radiator, must remember, drain the coolant. If we don't drain the coolant, we will get a fine, I believe. For spilling it everywhere, so coolant needs to come out. He wanted it refilled anyway, so it makes no issue to us. We can't replace the radiator without changing that. So now we should be able to take the radiator off without the risk of a fine. Hopefully. There we go. No, we need to take off the housing behind it, the fan housing first. We haven't really touched radiators before. There we go. Fan housing off, radiator off, the radiator needs sorting out. Alternator as well we need to look at. And the timing, serpentine belt, wasn't it, as well? We probably could have taken the engine out and worked on this side, outside the engine. Instead, we'll take the battery off. That should give us a better viewpoint, hopefully, of what we need to do down here. That belt needs replacing. We need the idle roll off first. Yeah, serpentine belt can now come off. And that's the alternator there, also that needs sorting out. I know the flashing in the background is annoying. I should have just gone over and clicked on it, to be fair. That would stop that straight away. Was there anything else here we need to look at? I can't think there was. I'm trying to remember now what we needed to do off the list. We've checked the bearings, the bushes, not bearings, bushes. Our Nemesis, we'll check those because we're still missing that one part. It's always worth double checking these things just to be sure. They're usually the things that catch me out horrendously. So we'll check this one as well. No, green. I'm happy that's green. They're very cheap parts to replace. They're just a pain to find. And we know we're missing one thing. So it's finding this one thing. All the tests didn't show it up. So I'm hoping it, we'll see it and we'll know what it is. But rubber bushes, I've kind of realised sometimes you can look at them and know they've gone. There is some degradation, and you can see some degradation on the outside. So where it's all black and round, that does look different when they're worn. I've noticed that over time. So you don't necessarily have to start taking them all off. But then sometimes it's just easier just to take them off and be sure. At least you know you've physically checked them. It could be something else at the rear, maybe. Could it be? Yeah, it could be a bearing. I didn't actually. Yeah, could be a bearing, I suppose. I don't know. There's nothing obvious at the front end of the car, anyway, that I can see. But let's go and have a look at the parts we can fix. Let's do the wheels first. So let's take the wheels off the rims, because I can, in theory, if they're in good enough condition, we can actually fix the rims rather than have to buy new ones. So let's do that. First one coming off. Oh, there was only one to take off, wasn't there? Because there was missing a wheel on the front right. So yeah, there's only one wheel to have a look at to start with. So we can fix. We don't need to do radiator housing or the fans, but we can fix the radiator. We do have a small issue. The rim that needs replacing, we can't fix. We haven't got high enough skill points to fix it, which is annoying. Or the steering rack, or the alternator. We need to be renovator level 4 and renovator level 5 for the rim. That's a little bit frustrating, as otherwise we could have fixed them. So that's something we've got to concentrate on. We've got to concentrate on our XP then. We need to get some skill points up, because that's going to cost us potential profit. Because we can't fix them, we now have to spend more on new parts. Thus then spending more money than we should have done. But once we're going to concentrate our skill points, I think, then into Renovator. And once we've done that, at least then we'll be able to fix more parts. And hopefully save ourselves some money. How many skill points do we need? So we have 0 skill points. And Renovator 4, we need 4 more skill points for that. Yeah, so we're not far off. But yeah, unfortunately, we can't fix those parts, so we're now going to replace them ourselves. It's money I didn't really want to spend, but what choice do we have? Okay, so let's add the alternator, the serpentine belt. The shop on this steering rack needs to go on. We need a rim. Oh, we need 2 actually, because we've got a wheel missing, haven't we? Exhaust, and we need. I'll put the oil pan on. We didn't actually need that. We need the tyre though. Yeah, I didn't need the oil pan, so we have to take that off when we go into the shop. I forgot we just did it there and then. Alternator, we do need. Will it be in this or will it be electronics? No, I think that's in electronics then, isn't it? Okay, serpentine belt, easy one. Not massively expensive. Steering rack, we only need 1 of these. I know I put it on twice, but we only need 1. That's expensive. That was very expensive. We always try to leave ourselves a £5,000 buffer. And that steering rack nearly took £1,000 off in one go. We don't need the oil pan. So we need 2 tyres. No, we need 1 tyre, 2 rims. I've just actually got rid of the alternator accidentally. That's annoying. We'll put the alternator back on the list because we do need it. So let's go back. So it's in electronics, I believe. I love using. I know some people don't use the shopping list. I've watched a couple of other people that create content not use the shopping list. They type everything in, and I think on PC, yes, that's easy. On console, it's not as easy to type stuff in. It's easier to use the shopping list, I find. Right, let's go for tyres now. Tyres, we've got to try and remember what we're looking for. The numbers, we've had this issue before. They don't equate in the right order. So it's a 19-inch, 35 regular, 235. but that order that is written there isn't the order you actually do it in when you buy the tyre. We only need one. So the reason it's taking me a little bit of time before we actually buy it is I'm just noting down the numbers, just so I'm sure of which one we're getting. So we need one 19-inch. Yeah. And the width was, yeah, and then there we go, 600 odd pounds for one tyre. Why couldn't it come with all four wheels? How do you lose a wheel? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'll stop my complaining about the state of the car. Rims next. And the one we need two of these. What size is it though? Can't remember. Let's have a look. So it's a 19-inch ET0. That's the bitumen with ET0. So we need two 19 inches. There we go. And ET is 0. £912 for two rims. Two! That's ridiculous money. Just double checking my numbers again. Always doubt the numbers. It's so easy. That's why I do have a notebook with me. Sometimes you see a pause in buying stuff. It's because I'm double checking a couple of things. I've got a notebook. I make a note of the numbers, especially tyres and rims, just to make sure we don't waste money and buy the wrong ones. Especially this budget we currently have. We have to make sure we're spending money wisely. So we only needed one tyre to replace the one that was missing. So we've got that, so we can put it together now. And what we'll do, we'll take this one off, balance it while the other one's been put together. Just to speed up a little bit. No, not separate. I've just told it to separate the one we've just put back together. Misclicked by me. That's a little bit frustrating. So now we've got to do that one all over again. Yeah, wrong one. So we'll try again. So we'll put the first tyre on and put it all back together. And then we'll take that off and do the second one. And we'll balance the first one. I'll try and get this right this time. There we go. Balance the first one. Balancing is fairly simple. Just spin it round, press X on it, and easy peasy. You're just going to get the green into the orange. Happy days. Nice little mini game. It's fairly simple. Sometimes I've noticed they have 3 times you've got to click. Sometimes they only have 2. So I'm assuming that's just how unbalanced the wheel is once you add the rim back to the tyre, I suppose. But I suppose it's realistic in the terms that they're not all going to be the same amount of balancing needed. Right, we've got two new rims with one brand new tyre. Right, what else do we need to do? Probably start with the belts and get this kind of side done, and then we can put the battery back. So brand new alternator, as we couldn't fix the one that came out of the car, frustratingly. I think orange we would have been able to fix it as well. It wouldn't have cost anywhere near the money it cost us to buy. New serpentine belt can go on, and then we need the pulley back on. Obviously didn't need that replacing. Here we go, and then we're done here. Battery can go back on because we don't need the view anymore. Fantastic. And then radiator. Yeah, I'm not sure why I came out of that. I could have just put it on there and then. There we go, radiator housing. Here we go, nice and easy. And I did notice something there. So that right there is a medium intercooler, accessible from under the car. Well, that's missing. That's not there. And I wonder, because it's missing the front bumper, you know, we're missing this part that we still haven't found. Would that count? Because surely that would be behind the front bumper normally. There's nothing else there. We can't access it unless we're underneath anyway. But we know we're missing one part we haven't found. That could be it. We need to go back to the putting on view. Taken off. I've come off the car, I think that's what's caused that. Back on, yeah. That's the part we haven't found. Oh, that made life a little bit easier. So we can't fix one because we don't have one. But that's got to be it, surely. Yeah, we never took one off because the one didn't exist. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, we definitely didn't take one off. £237, not bad. And we can put that back on. And that should be the final part missing then off our list. We'll put everything else back together, I think. So, front exhaust section goes back on. Steering rack. We need to tie the steering rack back in. So we'll get an angle from the wheel side now. And then we can put the tyre back on as well. So inner tie rod. The outer tie rod just screwed in place. It's got to be held there somehow. And then our brand new tyre, as this side of the car didn't have a front tyre, with a brand new rim. Nicely done. Then we can do the inner tie rod again this side. And the outer tie rod, not rack, rod. And then tyre is back on with the brand new rim because we couldn't fix the previous. It's frustrating not being able to fix these things, but it's at least we know we've got to focus our skill points on fixing. And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure all ticked. That's a bonus. Okay. Things to think about. We've got to remember to put oil back in the car since we did drain it and we replaced the oil pan. We still need to do the bodywork and we need to refill the windshield washer fluid. And it did actually need us to drain and refill the coolant. We drained it anyway to take out the radiator, so that's not an issue. Right, repair bench. Oh, we're kind of stuck. So all the bodywork that needs fixing and sorting out, we can't actually do anything with it because we're not high enough renovator level. We need to be renovator level 6. And we're quite a way off that. So annoyingly, that means new body parts for the ones that need fixing because we can't repair them. Come a bit unstuck. So let's sell everything we don't need. That's all the stuff that came off the car that was replaced. This car, story car, has gone from bad to worse. We should have kind of probably looked ahead, made sure we knew what we was required skill points wise to be able to do this car because we've massively messed up in terms of money, I think. So it needs a brand new front bumper because one doesn't exist. Left fender, license plate, right fender, hood, headlights, side mirror, headlight, mirror, windshield. But it doesn't need doors or rear bumper. So that's interesting. So in theory, all the rear stuff can go back on. So the trunk glass can go back in because none of that really needs replacing according to that list. It's not fantastic condition. It doesn't need doing. If it doesn't need doing, or we can't go above and beyond, we don't have the money or the means currently. So rear bumper, perfect. Doors. Oh, these little tiny mirrors as well. Pretty sure they're not on there. No, they're not on there. Little tiny mirror doesn't actually turn up. They are annoying. Some of the cars have the tiny mirrors, the tiny little windows, and you just think, oh, it's ridiculous. So I can go back on. We didn't actually take this one's out. But there we go. So the rear right door can go back on. The rear left door, because they don't need sorting out either. Glass can go back in the rear left. I don't think we put the glass in the right, do we? No. I would say though, the stuff you take off comes back clean. It's amazing. Pockets clean the car. Okay. So front doors can go back on, but it's the mirrors need doing. The glass can go back in. I've got to be very careful not to get this wrong because if we do, it's going to cost us an amazing amount of money, and we can't afford that. So I don't want to replace anything that doesn't need replacing. That's the big thing. So we need license plate, mirror, fender, hood. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So actually it's missing a fender, it's missing a mirror, and it's missing a front bumper. Okay, bodywork. I didn't realise till just now actually, it actually puts up the car you need. So the car you're working on is the first car in the list, which is helpful. I like that. Right, now it's a case of remembering what we need and what's missing. Obviously, the number plate isn't in the actual car part. That's why that's not showing up. Let's go to the wing mirror. It's not too bad a price. I'm just not looking forward to seeing the front bumper price. £118. Well, that's a bit more expensive. The reason we're taking our time is we just want to be sure we're doing this properly. It's the right thing to be getting. Front bumper, we definitely need that. We was missing a fender, weren't we? But which one? I think we got the right already. Did we? Did we not? Oh, front light. I don't know. I've done both of them just in case. I'm hoping I'm correct. Headlight needed replacing. There's the hood. Do we need another headlight? Yeah, we need a side mirror as well. I think that's it. Oh, didn't we need the windshield? We did. I think that's it. So we need to actually take out the old windshield, don't we? It's one thing we hadn't taken out previously. Yeah, that was red. That was definitely gone. You couldn't tell. It's too dirty. It was definitely gone. So we needed front right fender. It's in black, but nothing we can do with that. We can't spray it or anything. It's going to look a bit patchwork car by the end of this. License plate. Did we buy it? No, we didn't buy one in the end, did we? Put that one on. Okay, that's weird. Just had a thought. The license plate would have been there because there wasn't a front bumper. I think we need a second license plate. Because I think we're one short. Because the front bumper was missing and the license plate sits on the front bumper, I'm thinking that obviously it won't be there. So we're actually a license plate down. So let's buy the second one. Oh, we're £2 short. £2. What can we sell? We can probably sell the glass. That's 14. There we go. That's enough money there. Yeah, we've got enough now for number plate. This is how tight we are with money at this point. We are very low on money. Trying to keep this £5,000 buffer obviously didn't work because we couldn't fix the car. If we could fix the car, this wouldn't be an issue. So no windshield can go in. We've put the license plate on the back. New hood, new right headlight, left headlight, and left fender. There we go. And the left wing mirror. Perfect. So I think body parts are done. Front license. It's because it's not a high enough percentage. That's an issue because we haven't got the money for a new one. We can sell the current license plate for 78, and that we've now got enough. Yeah, we've now got enough one. I've actually just realised. Now we've brought it. What we could have just done is switch the license plates round because the 78% one, the yellow percentage one, could have gone back on the rear where it came from. Because it only came off because we took the rear bumper off or the trunk, one of the two, and that would have passed. We didn't have to buy the extra license plate. But yeah, I didn't realise that until just now. That's an issue. But okay, we spent more money than we needed to by £95. So refill of liquids, coolant, windscreen washer, a bit more. That's the windscreen washer done. Coolant needs to be done. And that goes in there. Nice green coolant with the brand new radiator. Well, refurbished. Perfect. And oil. You put oil in because the new oil pan went in, so to drain the oil first. This is going to be close on money. I don't know how much oil costs. But £22 left. What's going to be left in the kitty afterwards? £6. How close is that? So I believe the car is done. We've sold everything that was left over that needed. That's all that green ticked. We're done. That's fantastic. So in total, we spent £5,345 on the car, and with the 11 grand back, we actually made a profit of £6,232. Now, I'm always happy to have this 5 grand buffer. It was extremely close, and we nearly went over the 5 grand for fixing that car. But I want to buy a few more bits for the garage itself. I think the garage needs some new stuff to help us out, to make us make money better. Didn't have enough skill points, but I think the dyno, car wash, I think they're just too expensive for us at this point. Something I'm looking at, I'm thinking about is the warehouse, the second lifter maybe, because then we can have 2 cars on the go at once, or only one of us to fix them. You can line a couple of cars up maybe. I think that will help us. Warehouse, I think, is a must, so we don't store things in inventory, because that way we won't get confused between cars. So I definitely think that's helpful. Yeah, second lifter, £2,500. I think that's definitely something we should go for. We don't need paint shop yet. Normally, I think the story cars do give you some indication of what you should be buying and when. If the story car needed a paint job on the car, then obviously we should have by then bought the paint shop. Currently that hasn't happened, so I think, yeah, we'll take the lifter, £2,500. I think warehouse, sorry, £750. I also think the battery charger, £550. So if the car's got a battery but it's no good, it's red, we can charge it. It doesn't cost us a penny. And look, the bus is gone. Garage is a lot more open. It's a mess, but it is a lot more open without that bus there. Our new battery charger as well, and our new warehouse. So we can actually take anything we want out of our inventory, put it in the warehouse, and it's there to use when we need to. Just need to send it across. So we've got a couple of parts 100%. Still not sure on the pulleys and stuff and the idle rollers. I don't know whether we should be keeping them. They're quite a high percentage, but they're not green. And they can't be fixed. Even if we had enough skill points to fix. Well, XP, sorry, to fix them. Or skill points. Yeah, you can't fix them. We've got 4 barn locations currently. I've just sent the case across, didn't I? So the case we've just got for doing the story car, I've just sent it to the warehouse. We actually don't want it in the warehouse, I want it back. So I need to go and get it back. Send it back across. Because we can open that in a second as well and get our rewards for the car. So that is the warehouse. All nicely done, everything can be stored in there. I like the doors open just so I can walk in. And let's do the case. What are we going to get today? We've already got 4 barn locations. I've got enough money really to really go and do one. 80 salvage and 413 bonus credits. Not bad. So all in all, a really good day. A decent profit for the day as well. We spent some money. We've still got money in the bank. Only a little bit. We've got some. And that is it. So thank you very much for watching. New garage upgrades. Another story card done. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.